Ukulele Sean here, and in today's lesson we're going to learn how to play Be Prepared on the ukulele from The Lion King. So let's get started. Now the song starts off with an intro. The intro is played by using the chord of an A minor and then the chord of a D minor. So let's learn how to play those two chords now. To play the A minor, just pop fingers number 2 on frets number 2 of strings 4. Frets number 2 is the second space along the neck, and strings number 4 is the string closest to our face. We're just going to push frets number 2 of strings 4 down, and it should sound like this. So that there is an A minor chord. The next chord is the D minor, which sounds like this. Now to play the D minor chord, place fingers number 2 on frets number 2 of strings 4. Place fingers number 3 on frets number 2 of strings 3. Place fingers number 1 on frets number 1 of strings 2. And then strum all 4 strings down to the ground like this. And that there is the D minor chord. Okay? So now to play the intro using the correct rhythm, it should sound like this. So I play A minor, A minor, A minor, A minor, D minor, D minor, D minor, D minor. Okay, so that's the correct rhythm. Now, if at any point in this song that you feel like you are unable to play the rhythm that I suggest to you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with just strumming the chord down once per chord change. Okay, so when it's time to play the A minor, just play it one time through. When it's time to play the D minor, just play that one time through. As long as you play the chords at the correct time, it's absolutely fine. But if you want to get a little bit closer and sound even more authentic to the song, then that's where you bring the rhythm in. But again, there's nothing wrong with just playing each of the chords in today's lesson one time through. Okay? The song then moves on to the verse, which sounds like this. I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside. But thick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. Now to play that section, we'll need to learn 4 chords. That's the chord of an A minor, which we have already looked at. Then the D minor, which we've already looked at. Then we move on to what's called an E minor chord. To play the E minor chord, place fingers number 1 on frets number 2 of strings 1. Place fingers number 2 on frets number 3 of strings 2. Then place fingers number 3 on frets number 4 of strings 3 and strum all 4 strings down to the ground like this. And that there is the E minor. Okay, and then we move back to the A minor to finish. So we get A minor, D minor, E minor, A minor, A minor, D minor, E minor, A minor. Okay, the next part of the song sings and plays. It's clear from your vacant expressions, the lights are not all on upstairs. And that part is played by using the C minor chord. To play the C minor, you will need to bar fingers number 1 along frets number 3 of all 4 strings. And what that means is to push finger number 1 down nice and flat against all 4 strings. And you're going to have your thumb behind the strings on the neck like so. And you're just going to push your thumb and that finger together, which is going to create the pressure we need. Then place fingers number 3 on frets number 5 of strings 4. Again, strings 4 is the string that's closest to our face. And then we just strum all 4 strings down to the ground like this. And that there is the C minor. It then goes on to the A minor, which we can already do. We play the C minor once again, and then the A minor. Okay? The song then sings and plays, but we're talking kings and successions. Even you can be caught unaware. Okay? And to play those chords, we start off by playing the G major. To play the G major, pop fingers number 2 down on frets number 2 of strings 1. Pop fingers number 3 on frets number 3 of strings 2, and then pop fingers number 1 on frets number 2 of strings 3, and then strum all 4 strings down to the ground like this, and that there is the G major. We then move on to the chord of a C major. To play the C major, just pop fingers number 3 on frets number 3 of strings 1, and then strum all 4 strings down to the ground like this. We then move on to quite a fancy chord known as the B minor 7 flat 5, and I would say at this point, never be afraid of chord names. One of the biggest things that I find with my students and with me when I was learning was when you hear a massive chord like that, the B minor 7 flat 5. A lot of people go, that's it, I give up, I'm done, that's too hard, it sounds too hard and too difficult. But in reality, pop this back on, but in reality, it's not that hard to learn. So the B minor 7 flat 5 chord is played nice and easily by using fingers number 4. You're going to place fingers 4 on frets 4 of strings 4. Then you're going to place fingers number 2 on frets number 2 of strings 3. Then you're going to place fingers number 1 on frets number 1 of strings 2, and it sounds like this. And that's a B minor 7 flat 5. So our next chord, which of course is the E7. Now to play the E7 chord, place fingers number 1 on frets number 1 of strings 4, place fingers number 2 on frets number 2 of strings 3, and then place fingers number 3 on frets number 2 of strings 1, and then strum all 4 strings down to the ground like this. And that there is the E7 chord, okay? It then moves on to the next part, which sings, so prepare for the chance of a lifetime, prepare for sensational news, which is A minor, D minor, G, C. Now, we already know those chords, we've looked at them already. The next part of the song sings and plays, a shiny new era is tiptoeing nearer, and where do we feature? Just listen to teacher. Now, that's played by using an E minor, A minor, D minor, G, E minor, A minor, D minor, G. So those 4 chords are repeated twice, as you've just seen, and we know how to play those 4 chords. The song then sings and plays, I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded, and at last I'm given my dues. Now to play that correctly, we're going to play a C major, which we could already do. Then we play what's called a C7. To play a C7, place fingers number 1 on frets number 1 of strings 1. And then we're going to play what's called an A7. To play an A7, place fingers number 1 on frets number 1 of strings 3. Okay, and then last but by no means least, the D minor. Okay, so we get this. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I'm given my dues. And then it sings, and injustice deliciously squared, be prepared. And that's played by using the B minor 7 flat 5. And then we're going to play what's called an E major. Now to play the E major chord, pop fingers number 1 on frets number 1 of strings 4. Pop fingers number 2 on frets number 2 of strings 1. And then pop fingers number 3 on frets number 4 of strings 3. And it sounds like this. Okay, now if you do struggle to get to that chord, because the E is quite a tricky one to get to, there's absolutely, in my opinion, nothing wrong with jumping straight to the E7, which we've been playing before. Just like that, okay? The song then repeats the exact same chord progression again, just with a new set of lyrics, okay? Now, in regards to strumming the correct rhythm to the song, as long as you're playing the correct chords at the correct time, that's the most important thing. If you just want to strum the chords down once, okay, so every time you need to change chords, you just strum it once, that's absolutely fine. If you want to go a little bit more advanced and get a little bit more upbeat in regards to your strumming patterns, that's absolutely fine as well. Just try not to go overboard with it. We don't want to kind of sort of changes the style of the song too much. So just make sure it's stylistically correct. Think to yourself, would this strumming pattern work for this song? But as I say in this channel, as long as it sounds good and as long as you change the chords at the correct time, then it's fine. So let's give this a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside. But thick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights are not all on upstairs. But we're talking kings and successions. Even you can be caught unaware. So prepare for the chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shiny new era is tiptoeing nearer. And where do we feature? Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I'm given my dues. And it's justice deliciously squared. Be prepared. And there you are. That's how to play Be Prepared on the ukulele. Now the song does repeat for another section, but all you need to do is just copy what I've shown you for that section as well, and you'll be absolutely fine. I hope you enjoyed that today. If you did, please give the channel a like, share and subscribe. And I am on social media at Ukulele Sean on Instagram. And for the simple price of 1 cup of coffee per month, you too can support the Ukulele Sean channel and help keep the channel going. And that's at patreon.com/Ukulele Sean. And you actually get some goodies for your donations as well. So I definitely suggest checking that out. So until next time, goodbye.